The New York Times reporting this afternoon that the traffic in the Strait has plummeted after Iran's attack on a Cyprus-flagged container ship over the weekend set off an exchange of strikes with the United States, culminating in President Trump saying he would reimpose the U.S. blockade on Iran. Just 14 ships passed through the waterway on Sunday in both directions, the fewest in a month, according to figures from a maritime data firm. The president added that the U.S. would provide security for other ships in the waterway, but would charge a fee at the rate of 20% on all cargo shipped for and any and all costs necessary. That's a quote from the president. Now, the Times goes on to write, before the start of the war in late February, an average of more than 130 vessels transited the Strait daily. In mid-June, when the U.S. and Iran signed a preliminary agreement to reopen the Strait, traffic spiked. In the 7 days starting June 20th, nearly 400 ships moved through the Strait, the most in a one-week period since the war began.
We're going to keep the Strait, and we'll probably run it. We'll become the guardian of the Strait. Maybe we'll call it the guardian angel of the Strait, and we should be reimbursed for that.
Yeah, I mean, the reality is that's not going to happen. The reality is that to take the Strait, to control it, in the way that most people would understand that, it would involve a significant naval mission in terms of naval assets that you have to put forward, and would be vulnerable to Iranian attacks, both from their drones and missiles, but also from their speedboats, mines, and in addition, it would probably involve some kind of ground presence being required to control the coast. And the problem with, and also the islands, there's a series of smaller islands in the Strait itself or near the Strait that you would need to seize as well. And the challenge with that is not just taking those islands, which the United States could do, but really holding them under fire. And the president himself in past remarks has acknowledged that the American public doesn't really have the stomach for that kind of operation and the casualties it would involve. And so I don't think that is really realistic. What I think the president is trying to signal here is that the United States wants some other kind of new reality in the Strait of Hormuz, rather than just being subject to Iran's control and administration of it. And I think, the way out of this potentially is some kind of agreement between Iran and Oman that the United States is willing to accept around administration.